Welcome to this week's TEALScript meeting. Pretty short on my end. Honestly, haven't done a whole lot, but let me share my screen. Okay, so there's only been 2 releases since last week, both relatively small. So first was 8.2.0. This modified the ECDSA opcodes. So previously they were expecting like UINT, what would it be? UINT 256, but now it's just bytes 32 to kind of align with the opcode and align with how the other like crypto opcodes work. And then also fixed dot length on static arrays and variables, or so I thought. And then 8.2.1 actually fixed static length on arrays and variables. And then also fixed source comments for loops and for each loops. So if we take a look, yeah, basically now the comment in the generated teal for loops is what you'd expect it to be, and not just the first instantiation. So it just makes it a little bit easier to read. But yeah, that's pretty much it for
16 by 9, Joe, please.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Thank you very much.
So it just basically fixes the comment to actually be the code that was generating it. So yeah, so that was pretty much it. And then, I also for each loops also had a similar bug where it didn't show the comment properly. So now that renders properly for each as well. So those are the 2 changes. And then taking a look at the issues. So there was one new issue that was discovered. Basically, in TEALScript, you can assign a scratch bar as like a property of your contract. And if you try to plus equals on that, the compiler will break. Should be a very quick fix on that. And then the same bugs from, actually this is now closed, 8.2. Same bugs from last week. And then I don't think there were any new, right. And then I don't think there were any new like actual bugs. There's been a couple questions on best way to handle UINTs and UFIXs. And like, I'm still kind of debating on how TEALScript should handle that. Right now, like if you do like UINT division or UINT multiplication, it will automatically do like the times precision that it needs to do. But I'm thinking of removing this feature and basically having the compiler just throw an error if you try to multiply UFIX numbers to kind of force the user to manually do like precision multiplication, because otherwise it's going to be like way more opcodes than they probably expect. And it also like might truncate in ways they don't expect. Like just using UFIX means that the compiler does things for the user that they may or may not be aware of. So I feel like the best course of action for 1.0 is to just disable math on UFIX directly, completely. And then if we think of a better way to do it, then we can enable that later rather than having that be a break and change. So yeah, my thought is basically still support UFIX encoding, but not support like using UFIX during runtime. But I'm happy to hear if there are other opinions on that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to go through on my end. Are there any questions, feedback, concerns, comments? Yeah, wouldn't think so. It was a pretty low-key week for TEALScript. I will mention that one of the, so some of you guys know, like Patrick from NFL Domains has been using TEALScript recently, and he's been kind of finding some holes in the like client side experience. So like going from TEALScript contract to generated client to actually using that, there are some holes in that experience. Some of them, like the main one that he's recently been talking to me about is the fact that if you have a TEALScript contract and you have some like object that's like a name struct with like name fields that isn't available in the typed client. Now, this is actually a feature that I think it is technically supported by Arc32, but last time, like when I was first building TEALScript and I tried to do this, there was a bug with the aggregate client generator with like named tuples, and it was kind of a pain to debug, so I just like didn't enable that feature. So for short term, what I can probably do is try to add support for custom types through Arc32 and then see how that goes. Because we have Arc56, which is basically going to replace Arc32 right around the corner, if it ends up being like a lot of engineering effort to get this working with Arc32, it's probably not worth it. But yeah, I'll have to investigate that.
Yeah, just as a heads up, Joe, we are focusing on Arc56. So
Nice.
yeah, if we can finalize the spec on that, that would be great. I'm not sure if we are still missing someone to chime in or
yeah,
not.
I mean, so right now it's blocked by me. There's a couple like to-dos that I have to do on the Arc itself. But yeah, at least for the type stuff, it should I think there shouldn't be any changes. So we can start thinking
excellent.
about that. Yep. Yeah. And then the other thing also Arc32 related is the client generator doesn't work with read-only methods. I think there's some weird like algo SDK, algo client, algo SDK, algo kit utils like cross dependency issue, because I'm pretty sure I've tested this and it works fine. But Patrick was saying that when he has a method with read only, the client generator complains because for whatever reason, the Arc32 spec itself puts read only in a place that the read only spec doesn't specify. So it's like basically Arc32 is a non-standard read only. So there's some weirdness there. But again, like this one's probably lower hanging fruit that we can probably fix anyways. But
yeah, if he opens up an issue with an example to reproduce it, we'll tackle it straight away.
So most of the conversations I've been having with builders has been around that sort of stuff rather than TealScript itself, unfortunately. And then the other thing that we've talked about in this meeting is the pending PR for changing the class names. That's depending on Simulate. I still haven't gotten around to making that algo D change yet. I've been rather busy with other stuff. Hopefully we'll get started on that this week and then can see that PR finally go through. But all right.
I mean, we still have a bunch of time before the next cutoff release.
Right. Yeah.
So Okay, excellent.
All right. Well, that's everything. So if there's no more questions, thank you guys for attending. And as I said in the beginning of the meeting, Ryan and Alessandro, I don't think you were here for this. Me and Steve are thinking of pushing this another 30 minutes back. So start like 30 minutes after when it did today, mainly because me and Steve have a meeting like right before this, and sometimes it runs a little bit over. And when it's something that's like public facing, we want to make sure that we're not running late consistently. So
yeah, works for me. I've put it. It would fall under outside of working hours, so I shouldn't have meetings booked. So gladly will attend.
All right, cool. All right, well, thanks everyone, and see you next week. And any questions in the meantime, just hit me up on Discord.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, Jeff.
Bye bye.